Hi everyone, here's Robotani from PhoneArena.com and this is a video review of the new LG G Pro 2. At first glance, it is quite apparent that LG has taken a lot of inspiration from the G2 for the design of the G Pro 2. As you'd expect, most of the front is essentially just the screen. This is further accentuated by the slim bezels of the phone. Below the display, you'll notice the distinct lack of capacitive buttons or the hardware menu key from the original G Pro. The move to on-screen controls results in a very clean design with only minimal LG branding visible below the display. We have mixed opinions about the light reflecting material built into the front panel that displays small dot-like patterns when held in sunlight. The implementation of all the physical controls at the back of the phone results in space saving and is genuinely convenient once you get used to it. There's absolutely no doubt that there's a learning curve involved in using the rear-mounted power key and the volume rocker. As a bonus, an LED is embedded into the central power button that glows when connected to a charger. The volume rocker keys double up as shortcuts. Long pressing the volume up and down keys launches the Quick Memo app or the camera app respectively. The rest of the hardware is fairly Spartan with a micro USB port located at the bottom of the phone. Up top you'll find the 3.5mm audio jack, the IR blaster as well as the secondary microphone. The front of the phone is made of a glossy slippery plastic that doesn't do much justice to the handset. Over at the back, the tacky plastics used in the G Pro are gone and instead you'll find a mesh-like finish. The back cover is removable and should be able to survive a reasonable amount of flex. The LG G Pro 2 weighs in at a hefty 172 grams with the dimensions ranging between 157.9 by 81.9 by 8.3 millimeters. It's a big phone for sure, one that we felt a bit awkward holding up for long. The software on board the G Pro 2 is Android 4.4.2 KitKat with a heavily customized interface on top. The interface is more or less the same as that on previous generation devices with some subtle KitKat specific tweaks on board. The G Pro 2 comes with Knock Code, which is an enhanced version of Knock On, as seen on the LG G2. It lets you knock a pattern on the screen to bypass the lock screen. An interesting new feature is Mini View. Given the size of the screen, one-handed usage is nigh impossible. This feature lets you scale down the screen size to something more manageable. Other additions to the software remain the same as you'd have seen on other high-end LG smartphones. Sliding down the notification panel reveals a very busy interface. You can spot LG's Q-Slide apps here, which are essentially omnipresent floating widgets that can be interacted with. Sliders for brightness, volume levels are also placed here. Overall, the LG G Pro 2's software brings a lot to the table. The interface, however, is not its strong point. Running the show behind the scenes is a 2.26 GHz Snapdragon 800 processor, and this is paired with Adreno 330 graphics. You also get 3GB of RAM on board. These are specifications which were classified as top of the line for last generation phones. Even today, the difference between the chipset on offer and the current gen chipsets is marginal, so it would be foolhardy to dismiss the handset based on paper specifications. In day-to-day usage, we were very impressed with the performance of the phone. There were almost no lags, and the phone is perfectly capable of playing the most high-end of games as well. The 1080p panel stretches across 5.9 inches and results in a pixel density of 373 ppi. The LG G Pro 2 displays excellent viewing angles with text remaining legible even at the most extreme of corners. We also found contrast levels to be very good, though brightness levels weren't as amazing as you'd want. It's not a problem indoors, but we found viewing multimedia content in bright sunlight to be less than optimal. Text remains legible in virtually any lighting condition. The camera on the LG G Pro 2 is polarizing to say the least. On paper, it brings a 13-megapixel sensor that is befitting a flagship. This is paired with a 2-axis optical image stabilization system called OIS+. Moving on, the camera is also capable of capturing 4K video at 30 frames per second. The sensor remains the same as the one on the G2, and this isn't really an issue at all. On the front, you get access to a 2.1 megapixel camera sensor. The front camera too can record up to 1080p video. An interesting addition brought forth by LG is the Chroma Flash, as shown first by Qualcomm. This has been rebranded as Natural Flash by the Korean company. We found image quality to be generally very good. Noise is kept under control in proper lighting conditions. Photos retain a sufficient amount of detail, though exposure algorithms could do with some more tweaking. Photos also tend to be slightly underexposed. Owing to its flagship level status, the G Pro 2 is equipped with practically any connectivity feature you might want. This ranges from LTE, 3G, HSPA+, Wi-Fi 802.11, A, B, G, N and AC, Bluetooth 4.0 with A2DP, GPS, AGPS, NFC and even slim port support. There's just 16GB of storage built in, of which 10GB is available. You'll definitely be needing the microSD card slot built in for storing all your media files. We also like the addition of the infrared port, which means you can use the G Pro 2 to control other household applications like your air conditioner or even your television. The 3200 mAh battery built into the G Pro 2 was more than sufficient to last a full day of active usage with a healthy mix of taking photographs, watching videos, streaming music over Spotify, and of course making a lot of phone calls. The LG G Pro 2 is a decent smartphone. We could even call it a good flagship level device. But there's nothing here that makes it a great high-end device deserving of its price. There's no USP here. What you get is a smartphone that ticks all the check boxes and plays it safe. This is all the more obvious when you see competitors taking big risks like HTC with its depth sensor on the HTC One M8, Samsung with the heart rate monitor on the S5, and Xperia Z2 that offers IP58 protection. Add to that the fact that the phone is positively enormous at 5.9 inches, we definitely ask you to think twice before investing in this device. As a pure hardware play though, the LG G Pro 2 is a solid offering. The phone is priced at Rs 51,990. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.